Hi everyone, trust you guys are doing great. In this video, I would be talking about your postgraduate work permit. So, what happens when your postgraduate work permit expires and what it is. So, there are various routes, various ways you can select from once your PGWP expires, and it depends on your situation and on requirement. So, postgraduate work permit is usually the duration is equivalent to the duration of your credentials. So, for instance, you did a 1 year program from here, so usually your PGWP will be valid for will be for 1 year and valid for a maximum up to 3 years. So if you want to get let's say an immigration, Canadian immigration, then you need to make sure that the employment that you are currently in falls under category NOCO AB 0AB. So basically, when you get an open work permit, you are allowed to work for any employer, but you need to make sure that you work for an employer who can make you whose job falls under these three categories, because these are only considered as skilled, and that's the only way you can get Canadian immigration, as in the points for these categories. As of now, these are named as these, and I've talked about this in my previous videos also, but now these will be changing in 2022, and I'm going to make a video soon on the changes and everything which is coming with respect to the NOC. So it's not that if you do not fall into these categories you cannot immigrate, but you can fall into a most popular way of immigrating, which is express entry. It becomes very easy for you if you fall under these categories. Express entry becomes the easy pathway for you. Otherwise, things become little difficult, twisted here and there. So it's easy. If you are no under open work permit, then you should look for jobs that fall under these categories. So what you can do is you can apply for a bridging open work permit, BOWP. So what happens that you are applying for your, let's say, immigration here for PR, and your postgraduate work permit expires or is about to be expired. Then you can apply for this bridging open permit that gives you a time slot that, okay, I've applied for something else and this is already expired, so I have this time slot wherein I can work to ensure that my status here is not cancelled and it's still legal. So the ways are very simple. One is express entry. You need to make sure that you get the minimum amount of score which is required. The NOC fall into the experience that you have, the education credentials. If they are already from here, you don't need to get them verified, because if they are from some other country, then of course ECA, the analysis needs to be done. If not, then you don't need to get verified. You need to make sure that the score that you have after totaling out everything. Again, I've talked about the ways of totaling the calculating the score in my previous videos. Okay, if you do not fall into express entry, because let's say your score is 300 and something or early 400, which you feel is nowhere close to what's happening, then you can try the second option, which is PNP, which is again open for everyone. This is province specific again. So I've seen students doing this. They switch provinces because they feel it's easier to get it's easier to get permanent residency through some other province, and they can stay in that province for some time, and then they're open to be in any of the province once that duration is over. So that is something again you can check. The score for provinces like Ontario, of course, it's always up, and it's very unlikely that your score will match if the score is not even equivalent to what is it in express entry. So you need to make sure which province are you targeting, and then also be sure in terms of the weather conditions, that there'll be certain provinces where weather conditions would be extremely in terms of winters, it would be like really bad. So if you think you can you're okay with it, you can take care of it, then you can of course go there and things are a little easy. Again, you can apply for Quebec immigration program. Quebec has its own system. It's the only province which works independently, but of course, federal is the only one that can grant the status. So if you speak French, if you're an international, then you can fall. Make sure you meet all the eligibility criteria. They follow a little different system. So it's not what is followed in Alberta or BC or Ontario will be followed there. So you need to make sure it's majorly French-speaking, French-dominated province. So that's what you need to take care. If you're already studying in Quebec, you will understand you're going to get points as an international student, of course, and then you'll be speaking French, hopefully, because it's like French dominating kind of a place. And yeah, so one is PNP. And why Quebec? Because Quebec is different from rest of the provinces in terms of the way systems are followed or taken care of. So Quebec is one other option. Then fourth option is Atlantic Immigration Pilot for you. This makes it easier for Atlantic Canada employers to to find the foreign employees if they feel the talent is not there. And so if you are in Newfoundland or Labrador, it becomes easy. Prince Edward, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia. So these are actually the popular destinations, especially for students that I've seen. So that's it. It is relatively easy as compared to other provinces. So there are three programs: skilled worker, immediate skilled worker, and for graduates of who have been graduated from Atlantic region. So you're gonna fall under any of these three categories, and then it's easy for you. So it becomes relatively easy as compared to express entry, PNP, maybe Quebec, yes, even from Quebec. Next is family sponsorship. So if your spouse or common law partner is here, a Canadian citizen or a PR already, then they can apply for you, and it becomes one of the pathways through which you can enter here. So yeah, these are the pathways that you can choose if your postgraduate work permit is about to expire and you're planning that what next, how can I stay in Canada and how can I get the immigration status. Now let's assume none of these options for some reason are good enough for you, and none of these options are suitable for you because of whatever eligibility criteria. Then there are other work permit criteria that might be able to help you in extending your stay here in Canada. So LMIA is one option, which is usually long process, but it comes with a fee also. Another one is International Mobility Program, which focuses on promoting Canada's broad economic, social, and cultural policy objectives, and then significant social or other cultural benefit like film, TV workers, as well as entrepreneurs and self-employed. Then there are some trade agreements with certain countries like US and Mexico that you qualify under CUSMA professionals. I have already made a video on this. I'm going to put the links for your reference. So that's about it. Pick whatever best suits you, and in no time you'll be able to extend your stay and everything will be fine. You just need to pick where you fall. Make sure you do that very wisely. You choose it very wisely, and just do not go into any rush or someone said something. Just do your R&D. Make sure you, if you have any confusion and if you would like to talk to me, then please drop me an email. If you want any professional consultancy, I would suggest you to talk to the concerned people so that you take the right decision. I've seen people getting into things and then losing money and what not. So be very cautious. The whole reason is that you should be informative about it. So I'm gonna bring as much information as I can. If you have any questions specifically related to this, please let me know through my email ID, which you can see here, and or comments and whatever. But please do not take any step without being well informed about the repercussions, pros and cons. Yeah, that's all about it. Have a great day, guys. Bye.